Buckle up, everyone, because today we're diving headfirst into the crazy world of parcel shipping in 2025.
Yeah, things are getting pretty wild out there with all this new legislation.
We've got a ton of expert insights and analysis to unpack all about how these new laws are impacting businesses like, sustainability mandates and anti-predatory pricing laws.
Oh, and don't forget the surcharges.
Yeah, the surcharges, those are always fun. So where do we even begin with all of this?
Let's start with sustainability. All those carbon emissions everyone's talking about.
Right, are those actually impacting shipping?
Well, now if you're shipping above a certain amount, you have to track and report those emissions.
That sounds like a logistical nightmare and probably expensive.
It can be. UPS and FedEx have both rolled out carbon tracking tools, but they come with added fees that can easily get buried in your invoices.
Wait, so they're charging us extra to track emissions that they're largely responsible for in the first place?
Well, it's a bit of a gray area, but it definitely highlights the importance of thorough audits. An audit can help you uncover these hidden carbon-related fees and make sure you're not overpaying for something you might not even need.
So we can't just take those invoices at face value. We need to really dig deep.
Exactly. You need to understand what you're being charged for and why. It's about taking control of your shipping costs and making sure you're only paying for legitimate services.
I like the sound of that. And what about these anti-predatory pricing laws? I know some businesses have been hit with some pretty unreasonable surcharges in the past.
Absolutely. These laws are designed to level the playing field and prevent carriers from taking advantage of businesses with unfair pricing. But the carriers are getting creative.
Creative, how so?
Well, they're reclassifying fees to kind of skirt around these regulations. For example, instead of calling it a residential surcharge, they might label it as an extended delivery area fee, even though it applies to the same thing.
So it's a cat and mouse game where they try to sneak in these fees under different names?
That's one way to put it. And that's why audits are so crucial in this new landscape. They can help you spot these hidden fees and misclassifications that might actually violate these new regulations.
It's like having a financial detective on your side, making sure you're getting a fair deal. I'm starting to see why these audits are becoming so essential.
They're not just a good idea anymore. They're a necessity. The 2025 shipping landscape is so complex that manual invoice reviews just don't cut it. You need automated audit tools to really stay ahead of the game.
Okay, we'll definitely dig into those audits a little bit later. But before we go there, what about consumer protection? I know there's been a lot of talk about stricter delivery timelines and penalties for businesses that miss those windows.
Yeah, that's a huge development in 2025. Consumer protection is getting a major upgrade. Businesses are now facing tighter delivery deadlines, and there are penalties or even refunds for missed windows.
So if a package arrives late, the customer could be entitled to a refund. That puts a lot of pressure on businesses, especially if the carriers are experiencing delays.
It definitely does. And to make things even more complicated, both UPS and FedEx have made their guarantee policies more strict, so it's harder to qualify for those refunds.
Wait, so even if a package is late, we might not automatically get a refund. What are we supposed to do? Manually track every shipment and see if it qualifies?
That sounds impossible.
It's not really feasible, especially if you're dealing with high volumes. But that's where audits come in again. Automated audits can automatically flag those late deliveries that should qualify for refunds under the new guidelines so you don't leave money on the table.
Okay, that's a huge relief. I'm really starting to see how these audits are less of a nice-to-have and more of a must-have in this new environment.
Exactly. They're becoming a core part of any successful shipping strategy in 2025.
Okay, before we get into the nuts and bolts of audits, let's zoom out for a second and talk about the big picture. What are the biggest challenges facing businesses in this new landscape?
Well, let's start with the surcharges. UPS and FedEx are adding fees for everything: peak seasons, residential deliveries, oversized packages, fuel surcharges. It's a never-ending list. It's like they're playing surcharge bingo and businesses are the ones paying for the cards. So what can we do about it? Are we just stuck accepting these ever-increasing fees?
Not necessarily. There are definitely strategies to fight back. First, you need to understand dim weight pricing.
Dim weight pricing. I've heard that term thrown around, but I'll admit I'm not entirely sure what it means.
Basically, it factors in the size of the package, not just the weight. So even a lightweight item in a big box could end up costing you more. And you need to be auditing your invoices to make sure they're calculating the dim weight correctly.
So right-sizing those boxes is key. Got it. What else can we do about those crazy fuel surcharges?
Well, negotiation is your best friend, especially when it comes to fuel. In 2025, data is power. Use the insights from your parcel audits to show your shipping patterns, your volume, your consistency. That gives you leverage when you're negotiating with the carriers.
So we're not just begging for mercy, we're coming to the table with hard data to back up our requests. I like that. But can we really negotiate with the big guys like UPS and FedEx? They practically have a duopoly on the industry.
You'd be surprised. Never underestimate the power of data and a well-prepared negotiation strategy. You can definitely push for better terms and discounts, especially on those high-impact surcharges that are eating into your profits.
So there's hope. Okay, what about regional carriers? Are those a viable option?
Absolutely. Regional carriers are often overlooked, but they can be a real game changer. They frequently offer more competitive rates and more personalized service than the national giants.
So they're kind of like the hidden gems of the shipping world.
That's a great way to put it. They can be a fantastic option, especially for businesses shipping within certain zones or industries. And again, audits can help you identify those areas where a regional carrier might be a more cost-effective solution without sacrificing service quality.
Okay, so we've got dim weight optimization, carrier negotiation, and regional carrier exploration. What else is keeping shippers up at night in 2025?
Well, those sustainability mandates are a big one. Those carbon offset fees and green surcharges are becoming more and more common. And the dim weight policies are only getting stricter. So you really need to be on top of your game.
So it's not just about being environmentally conscious, it's about saving money too.
Exactly. Audits are key here as well. They can help you identify opportunities to reduce packaging waste and optimize your shipping practices to minimize those surcharges.
I'm sensing a theme here. Audits, audits, audits. It sounds like they're the key to unlocking savings and staying ahead of the curve in 2025.
You got it. And we've only just scratched the surface.
Stay tuned because in part 2, we're going to dive even deeper into the world of automated audits and how they can help you conquer the 2025 shipping landscape. Welcome back to the deep dive. So we've talked about the challenges now. Let's get into some solutions. How can businesses actually thrive in this wild new world of shipping?
You know, there's a lot you can do. Let's start with that dim weight beast we were talking about.
Oh yeah, dim weight. It's like the monster hiding under the bed of every e-commerce business.
Right. But it doesn't have to be so scary. There are things you can do to minimize its impact.
Like what besides, shipping everything in those tiny little boxes?
Well, first, take a good look at your packaging. Are you using the right size boxes? Could you switch to lighter materials? Maybe something more eco-friendly too?
So it's about being both efficient and sustainable.
Exactly. Often, simple adjustments to your packaging can make a huge difference in your dim weight. And don't forget about those audits. We were talking about how they can uncover errors in dim weight calculations.
Oh, great. So not only can we reduce our dim weight proactively, but we can also make sure we're not being overcharged for it in the first place.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
It's about taking control and making sure you're only paying what you should be paying.
Okay, so we've tackled packaging. What else can we do to optimize our shipping costs?
Well, negotiating carrier agreements is another key strategy. And in 2025, data is your best friend.
So we need to channel our inner data nerds.
In a way, yes. Use those insights from your parcel audits to understand your shipping patterns. Identify areas where you can improve. And then use that information to build a strong case when you're negotiating with the carriers.
So we're not just going in there and begging for a discount. We're coming prepared with hard evidence to back up our requests.
Exactly. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to negotiating better rates. You can use that data to push for discounts on those pesky surcharges or to secure more favorable terms overall.
Okay, that makes sense. I think a lot of businesses just assume they're stuck with whatever the big carriers throw at them, but it sounds like there's actually a lot of room to push back.
There is. You just need to know how to play the game.
Yeah.
And the right data can give you a huge advantage.
So we've got dim-weight optimization, carrier negotiation. Anything else?
Well, have you considered using regional carriers?
Honestly, I don't know a whole lot about regional carriers. What's the deal with them?
Think of them as the unsung heroes of the shipping world. They often fly under the radar, but they can be a real game changer. They tend to offer more competitive rates, and they're often more flexible and responsive to your needs.
So they're kind of like the boutique option for shipping, more specialized and personalized?
That's a great way to think about it. They can be a fantastic solution, especially for businesses shipping within specific regions or industries. And once again, audits can help you identify those areas where a regional carrier might be a perfect fit.
Okay, so we've got dim weight optimization, carrier negotiation, and regional carriers. What else is on the menu for 2025 shipping challenges?
You know, we can't forget about those sustainability mandates.
Right, those aren't going away anytime soon.
Nope. And they're only going to become more important and more complex. Those carbon offset fees and green surcharges are becoming the norm, and dim weight policies are getting stricter. So you really need to be strategic about your packaging and your overall shipping practices.
It sounds like it's not just about being environmentally responsible, it's also about being financially smart.
You hit the nail on the head. Audits can play a crucial role here too. They can help you identify opportunities to reduce packaging waste, optimize your shipping processes, and minimize those pesky surcharges.
Okay, I think I'm starting to see the big picture here. It's all about data, it's about being proactive, and it's about leveraging the right tools and strategies to navigate this increasingly complex landscape.
That's it in a nutshell. And one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal is automated audits.
All right, let's talk about those automated audits. They sound pretty futuristic. What exactly are they and how do they actually work? All right, so we've talked about the challenges, we've explored some strategies, but now it's time to unveil the ultimate weapon in your 2025 shipping arsenal.
We're going deep into the world of automated audit technology.
I'm ready to have my mind blown. We've hinted at the power of these tools, but I think it's time to really break it down. What makes them so different from those old-school manual audits?
Well, it all starts with data integration. Imagine having a direct pipeline to your UPS and FedEx accounts, constantly pulling in all your shipping data and invoice history in real time.
So no more manually uploading spreadsheets, no more trying to decipher those cryptic invoices.
Exactly. It's all automated, streamlined, and instantly accessible. And once that data is flowing in, that's when the real magic happens.
Okay, you've got me hooked. What's this magic you speak of?
Well, sophisticated algorithms take over and they start scanning for all sorts of billing errors with incredible precision. We're talking late deliveries, duplicate charges, incorrect dim weight calculations, even those sneaky reclassified fees we talked about.
It's like having a team of forensic accountants working around the clock to catch every little discrepancy.
That's a great way to put it. And the best part is, it doesn't stop at just identifying the errors. The system actually automatically files refund claims with the carriers, so you get back every penny you're owed.
So it's not just about catching the mistakes, it's about actually recouping that lost revenue. That's pretty impressive.
And it goes even further. These platforms generate these comprehensive reports with in-depth analytics on your shipping costs, your surcharge trends, potential areas for optimization,
Right.
Everything.
So it's like having a personal shipping consultant whispering in your ear, guiding you towards smarter, more efficient decisions.
Exactly. It's about using technology to gain a crystal clear understanding of your shipping operations, identify those hidden opportunities, and make data-driven decisions that can really impact your bottom line.
This is all starting to sound pretty amazing, but let's be real for a second. Are there any downsides to these automated audit systems? What's the catch?
Well, like any sophisticated technology, there is an investment involved. Implementing an automated audit system does require some upfront costs, for the software, licensing, the integration with your existing systems, that kind of thing.
So it's not exactly a free lunch, but if it can save us money in the long run, it seems like it could be a pretty smart investment.
Exactly. Think of it as an investment in efficiency, in accuracy, and ultimately in your bottom line. The return on investment can be significant, especially for businesses that are shipping high volumes.
That makes sense. Sometimes you have to spend money to make money, and in this case, it sounds like the potential savings could be pretty substantial.
One other thing to keep in mind, though, while these tools are incredibly powerful, they're not a magic bullet. They work best when they're combined with a proactive approach to shipping management.
So we can't just set it and forget it. We still need to be actively involved in optimizing our packaging, negotiating with carriers, staying informed about those industry changes.
Absolutely. It's about using technology to enhance your existing expertise and unlock those new levels of efficiency and savings. It's a partnership. Human intelligence working hand in hand with artificial intelligence.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground here. We've explored the challenges, the opportunities, and even delved into the world of automated audits. It's been quite a journey through the 2025 shipping landscape.
It's been a pleasure sharing these insights with you.
And before we wrap things up, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. In this rapidly evolving world of parcel shipping, knowledge is power. The more you understand about these trends, these challenges, the strategies, the better equipped you'll be to make smart decisions and stay ahead of the curve. So stay curious, stay proactive, and never stop learning.
And remember, the right tools and the right strategies can make all the difference in optimizing your shipping operations and achieving your business goals. So good luck out there.
Until next time, happy shipping, everyone.